Good evening, Cannon Fodder fans. The way that Alex, my brother Alex, would have introduced the show, he would have said good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. Well, just to start this show, we've lost another Alex, unfortunately. Alex, a goalkeeper, Alex, manager, who played for Arsenal, came in 1997 and stayed with us till about 2002. It's desperate times. So we send our condolences to his family. It's such a tragic way to lose a life through a tragic accident. But despite some of the sadness, he did bring some really good times to our club. And I think from what I've heard online, certain celebrities, ex players have said that Alex was the kind of person who's easygoing, softly spoken, made a lot of sense, kind of went under the radar of it. I think he was say to Dave Seaman, but another club, although he did go to quite a few clubs after Arsenal. I think Juventus was one of them, and he went to Liverpool. But it's with deep heart, heavy heart that we send our condolences to his family, the close friends, and all the Arsenal fans around the world. We want to express our condolences to his family. So, Alex, God bless you, rest in power, and we'll never forget you.
Salute.
Okay, so here we are, once again, back in the room. We have got in the room, first and foremost, we always have to say, ladies and gentlemen, so we've got a fantastic lady, Ange, the first lady of Cannon Fodder TV. How you doing, Ange? How you doing? You okay?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. I'm going to try my best tonight because, as some of you already know, I am more for Arsenal women, as in our women's team. But I do watch the boys, as in on whatever stream they're available on. I don't go to the games for the men, but I do watch them.
Yeah, I think we all do watch the women. I did see it on Instagram. I believe I'm trying to remember the name of the lady who played in goal for the women. She did a really
Manuela.
she did a really heartfelt farewell message. So
can I just say, Ralph, sorry,
yes.
she is a fantastic personality. She's been an incredible loyal servant, but the butt's coming. Yeah, as a personality, brilliant. As a goalkeeper, no.
Right.
That's why we got Daphne, the Dutch girl. Yeah. And
See,
also the other German goalkeeper, who was actually better than Manu, as we call her. But we wish her lots of love and whatever she's going to do next, because she's got her own family now. She's got a baby. So, yeah.
This is the reason why you're with us, Ange, so you can fill us in on those kind of like gaps that we've got with the women's game. So thank you. Next in the house, the original Godfather, my brother would always say, El Tel.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, I'm back from Ireland. I'm back here in North London. The sun is belting down. I've been out playing tennis today. The 4 months I spent in Ireland, we didn't have a dry day. I've never seen so much rain in all my life. You have to have one coat for the morning, and then you go out and walk and do whatever you want, go shopping. Then you bring that one back because it's soaking. It's about twice its size because it's heavy with water. And then you get the second coat, which by now has dried off from the previous day, and go out again. So, but listen, it's not the weather people go for, it's the lovely warmth of the people over there. So I don't know if any of them are watching. Maybe Tim will watch this, or he might watch it on catch up. So hello to Tim. We got Ross. We got a new guy on that Irish radio station called Festo, and he's from Tanzania, and he's a great lad. So we only do the odd show there, but it's good to be back. And of course, that show would never have taken place without the fact that Tim came on our Cannon Fodder in the days Alex was running it, And then Tim said, well, this sounds like a great idea. And so he brought it over to Ireland. He calls it Fever Pitch. But it's basically, without Alex, it wouldn't have happened. So I bow my head and in great respect to our dear friend Alex.
Thank you very much, Tel. It means a lot, and I'd say that Alex was always one to champion every other platform. It didn't matter if on how many views there may have been on your platform. He made sure he opened the door for everyone. So for that, we're eternally grateful. So next is my main guy, Glenwyn, brother from another mother. Alex will call you, as it were. How you doing, Glenwyn? Thanks very much for your assistance and help as well, bro. So how you doing, mate?
Only a pleasure. It's only a pleasure. I'm good, thank you. I had a bit of pain this week. I played five-a-side a month ago, and my swelling leg. Oh man, it was so painful this month. But you know what? I endured, and myself and Altel spoke off air. It's officially autumn in South Africa, and the cold weather. Last week we had a bit of rain, a couple of days, heavy storms, floodings in the roads. But yeah, we endure and we continue. But all good. We're blessed. We are alive. We continue day by day, and we're grateful for this show, the elite show, as it says there, the Easy Talk Elite Show. And like I said before, it was a mission to get on this show. I mean, you probably would have queued if Alex asked you to be on the show. You say, yes, I'm available, even though you're not yet. And that what this show sort of brought across, and everybody else that was on the show before, they can obviously vouch for that. But yeah, it's a blessing. It's a pleasure to be on the show. And Ralph, it's always a pleasure to help you out, because I know what it means for you.
Really appreciate your help, Glenn. And it goes without saying that, Alex and you guys, fantastic for keeping this Easy Talk going. I know it's been difficult for everyone, but I think Alex would have wanted. I've got him on my side there. I've got the little card of him on my side as for him to keep an eye on me, because we always had a bit of banter, and he would always say, "Come on now, Ralph, sort it out." So in that case, we're going to sort it out today. Right. So let's get on with our agenda. The first agenda we want to talk about really is that City match. Now, without going into too much detail, for me, I want to hear from you guys. But I once had a premonition. Where I work, we've got a whole host of Arsenal fans. Well, not Arsenal fans. It's mainly Man United, Liverpool, Leicester. There's actually one down the road fan as well. So we won't talk about them. But everyone's been saying to me, is Arsenal going to bottle it this season, Ralph? Is Arsenal going to bottle it this season? And I say, look, we go match by match. But this City match, I had a feeling that I would prefer to come away with a draw, because they had the edge on us in the Carabao Cup. Little did I know, by the time I finished work and got home, that we was losing, and my head was in my hands, because this is the Premiership, and we could have been 9 points ahead. They had a game in hand. 6 points ahead. They had a game in hand. Also now, they're level pegging with us. What do you think, guys? What do you think about the match first and foremost, before going to the fatigue thing? I'll send that to Eltel.
Well, I've got to be honest. I used to go round to Tim Hogan's place to watch the matches, and the last few times I went to watch, we kept losing. So I said to him, when I'm back in England, I'm going to definitely not watch the first match, and it was the Man City away match. And then I heard my wife let out a yelp, and I said, "Oh no, don't tell me!" And she said, "Yeah, 1-0 down." And then a minute later, some other weird sounds came out of her, and it was 1-1. And at that point, I went for my obligatory walk, and when I came back, I mean, we lost, but from what I've read and I've seen the highlights, we seem to be able. We've coped with what Pep set up for us. This 4-man blocking us, getting the ball out from goalkeeper and into midfield. So we seem to have solved that one. My biggest commentary on it all is the way it works is this: if you're gonna have do what Arteta does with this very complicated procedure, you play it through to your fullbacks, you play it through to midfield, you get your number 6 to drop in, and you've got everybody moving and everybody chasing everybody down. If it gets too complicated, you stop changing it because you think, I don't think the players can get any more into their heads. And unfortunately, and it looks as though that's what Arteta's been doing, he then set them up to fail in the Carabao Cup final because we played exactly as we have been doing all season. And then Pep knew that, and he invented on the fly a brand new tactic: 4 forwards pressing our 4 defenders. We had not our regular goalkeeper who couldn't really play the ball the way Raya does, and suddenly we're caught. So my message to Arteta is simplify the tactics. It doesn't have to be that complicated. You know, the way I watch Man City, they sort of have. It feels to me like they've been given a simplified version. Don't fill the players' heads with so much stuff that you then think, well, I daren't change it because the players won't know what they should be doing. So the fact that he somehow readjusted it so that when we played up at the Etihad, we could easily have come away with a draw. I think most people have seen. There was one point where Man City should have had a fella sent off. They're also saying the Man City winner was definitely a foul by you know who on Gabriel Magalhaes. So I do worry if you can't trust your officials, your refs and linesmen, then the whole game goes to hell in a handcart. So it's a real shame. But you know, it's there's a lot to play for. I know Arsenal fans are desperate for the league, but I would say to myself now, we're only 2 matches away from a Champions League final, and anything can happen in a final. And I've been speaking. I get tickets off various mates for various matches, and one guy. He goes to him and there's two of them go to every game, home and away. And this guy said to me, I think I got a ticket for the Wigan FA Cup match. And he was saying to me, we look better against continental opposition. And that if we were to go for anything, I know we all want to win the league, but as far as he was concerned, as long as we didn't meet an English team on the way to the final, we had a great chance. So Arteta's now he's lost. Yeah.
Sorry, but don't you think that? I mean, I'm getting frustrated with this because we wanted to sign a striker. We got a striker. Havertz has only just come back in. Havertz, hustled the goalkeeper, got a fortuitous goal. Apparently, Eze hit the post.
Yes.
And Havertz had another chance. The goalkeeper made a double save, and then he had that chance at the end.
Yeah.
Now, from what I've been hearing, out of the 3 chances he had, at least he could have put 2 of those in. Do you think that it's just unlucky that the way that we played, or do you think really that as a striker, from what I've heard, he holds the ball better than Gyökeres? So why we've got Gyökeres? We put Gyökeres in.
I was listening to Ian Wright talking about that miss. We'll have to call it a miss because he headed it straight into the goalkeeper's arms. Havertz did, and Ian Wright was saying he had loads of time as the ball came across to work out where he was going to attack the ball, and he should have put power into it and powered it past the goalkeeper. And all he ended up doing was twisting his head and knocking it straight into the goalkeeper's hand. So basically, Havertz isn't a a goal scorer as such. He will score you goals, but he's not an out-and-out goal scorer. As far as Gyökeres is concerned, they've bought him, but they don't use him. So he makes all these runs and the ball never comes to him. So I'm tempted to say to him, instead of running where you think the ball is going to come to, which is obviously not working, run in a different direction, because there's a very good chance that the ball will come to you. You know.
Ange, did you see the match?
Yeah, I did. I actually did it. I'm going to plug Des and Richard did their watch along, and it all went very quiet in the second half, as we can understand why. First half, I thought, oh, okay, this is doable. Yep, they got a goal. Then I'm not a fan of Havertz. No hate, but I'm not a fan of him. I don't particularly rate him, and you're spot on, Terry. He's not a striker, is he, in any shape or form? Or forward, well, certainly not a striker, but anyway. But I thought, no, good on him. That's good. And okay, the gaffer was right to start him. But, and all right, we all knew that the draw, I mean, yeah, you try and play for a win, but a draw would have been a good outcome. But by the second half, you're thinking, okay. And certainly, I was in the chat with Des and Richard, and I was just saying to Des, it was like, okay, when they're bringing Gyökeres on, because I've heard everything you're saying, which you're spot on again about Gyökeres, but isn't it interesting that when he played for Sweden, and I call him Harry Potter, he got a tune out of him, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Scored a hat
He did.
trick.
Yeah. So there's something we're doing wrong, that we aren't getting the ball to him in the right areas. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm actually going to use a comparison with the women here, because obviously I watch the women all the time. They are my priority. And I'm actually going to liken Gyökeres to Stina. And yes, they are both Swedish. They are both what I call good old-fashioned proper strikers. And yeah, I mean, all right, bless her. And I love Stina. I really, really love Stina. But yes, quite often she can be offside, whatever. But she probably a bit like Gyökeres in the sense when he played for Sweden. They're there when it counts. And Arsenal women, well, this goes back to their head coach as well, who seems to know a bit more of what she's doing. But I won't go down that rabbit hole just yet. But it is about passing the ball to your forwards, be it whether it's Alessia Russo, whether it's Stina, and I mean, plus also Arsenal, we've got great wingers for the men, I know that, but I think that's the big. I'm not tactical, I've never played football in my life, but I've watched enough games, and Arteta ain't quite getting it right, is it? And I think you said that so well about he makes it too complicated, doesn't he? Yeah.
Very
Really
animated
does.
on the sidelines as well. Glenwyn, did you see the match?
Yes, I've watched the match, and to be honest with you, I literally cried when that second goal went in. I cried my eyes out. Seriously, yeah, I was so emotional. But then again, you know what? I just want to say, Lynn, I've got your question highlighted. We are gonna get to your question in the comments. And thank you guys in the comments for giving us those comments. We will get to that. Just bear with us. So the game for me, I think we had a very, very good performance in terms of football. But totally different to what we are used to for the rest of the season past. So we've ground out wins, we've ground out results, and this game, particularly the build up to this game, was a lot about Arsenal have to win. And I think our fan base, when it comes to putting so much pressure on Arsenal, is that you gotta support that pressure. So if you put pressure on your team by saying you have to win this game, then you have to support them in making that statement. It's pointless coming from a home loss to Bournemouth and booing them out, and then you tell them you have to win them, but you don't support them in that statement what you're making. So I think our fan base really also is to blame for our boys' mentality. yes, it is something that the manager has to work on. It's something that staff have to work on. It's something the players have to obviously have in their own sort of capacity. But we as fans, and I've read something today that the fans, I think Rooney said it also last week, is that Arsenal fans will be the downfall of Arsenal not winning anything because of the pressure that we put on. And we yes, we want to win something. We want to see trophies. And but most of our online fan base, I mean, are part of the online fan base, opposed to those who goes to the stadium, has got a lot of toxic sort of behavior towards Arsenal. And to this game, yes.
No, sorry, Glenn. I didn't mean to interrupt, but
So,
I think
so this particular, yeah, sorry, go.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
So for this particular game, I think not to take it away from the manager and the team, I think they did well. I think they took the game to City. Everybody thought that they're gonna sort of roll over and let City come at us. There was a hell of a fight. We didn't go there to draw the game. We went there to win the game, and I think we were very open, and that allowed City obviously to get out our wing backs, because we played with, to be honest, with 4 center backs. We didn't have a genuine fullback on the field. We played with 4 center backs, and I think we were found out that way. But then again, City had the quality, and they had obviously the momentum because of their sort of runs. But taking it away from us is that we had our chances. We, I think, had 5 very, very good chances in the game to take 3 points away, or even just a draw. So it's game on. I think five games to go. And by the next time City plays, we have played twice already. So we play Newcastle this weekend, and then we play Fulham, and then only City plays Everton. By then, we should be 6 points clear and a couple of goals ahead of them. So I think that should be the plan.
I think, though, Glenn, I think that's also the potential to put even more pressure on the players, because they know it's a shootout. You know, you've had your momentum taking you pretty much 3/4 of the way through the season, fortuitously. We had a couple of last-minute goals and everything else, but it was all. This was, I think, to be honest, this might have been in the back of our minds, the fact that, you know, we can be caught up. I think we like to be able to chase rather than be in front, because we've been in front in 2 seasons now. You know, and the frustrating part is, you know where you are coming towards a business end.
It sounds like Altal would say, you're going through a tunnel.
Yeah. Somebody's in the tunnel, and it's us.
Yeah, but you got lights coming towards you. So is it a train, or is it someone with a flashlight?
Or is it 2 guys on motorbikes? No, I think Glenwyn put his finger on it there. We keep playing with 4 centre backs, you know, and Mosquera's done incredibly well, but he is not a right back. We've had our biggest loss has been Jurien Timber, because he's a genuine fullback. White doesn't seem to have regained his old poise, and he wasn't, before he joined us, he'd played centre back, midfield, and occasionally right back. So I think we can probably discount him. And then, do we really have a top quality left back? I don't think so. And so really, neither fullbacks that are going to go out and play tomorrow are going to be what I would call top, unless Timber's fit. They aren't going to be top quality, and that's 2 out of 11. And then if you look at our wingers, if Saka plays, great, because he's a world-class winger. But at the moment, Trossard's not playing well. Martinelli's not playing well. And Madueke, I don't know what he's doing. I don't think he knows. I like him, but he gets the ball and nobody knows which way he's going to go.
Yeah.
But he doesn't set people up. He just kind of lets it run out, or It would be lovely if we could work with him to improve his final ball, because without good wingers and without good fullbacks, we're four light, and really you can't get at this level. You can't be playing with 7 good players and 4 not so good. You know.
No.
Can we get to the question that Lynn has posed? It's pertaining the game that we are talking about.
Yes,
She asked the question. I have a question to all the panel. We always, for some reason, we get robbed, and then Webb comes out and said that their goal was offside, and we should have been had a penalty. So she's referring to obviously what happened in the game, and she asked why does it seem that we always get robbed? And then to that point, there's another point that says that and have you noticed that for some reason they always use a referee that is not a friend of Arsenal? So, and maybe we can pose that to you, since Lynn is part of the family.
Okay, let's be blunt. They're all Northern. They're all Northern, aren't they? They're all biased. I've said it.
Yeah, you know what? It's
I'm
not
sure.
it's not an unknown animal, is it? You know, I remember the one of the matches we played against Newcastle, and I think their winner was the ball went beyond the line for a cross that enabled for them to score their winning goal, and everyone was hammering it. Now the ball was out, and they said no, it's the circumference of the ball that in terms of the roundness of the ball was still in play, as it were. So you know, there's new ways, always been new ways to try and get us, but most of the time, I have to say that we have to take our chances. This is not an unknown territory for Arsenal players. They know who they're playing against. Maybe tactically, the manager is not where he should be. Sometimes he will pull out some kind of masterclass stroke, and then other times, when I do watch the highlights, I'm thinking, why didn't he make the changes sooner? You know, in order to prevent what's going to happen. In the back of my mind, I can see what's going to happen. But you know, you're with the players every day. You know their strengths and weaknesses. You know the team you're going to play against. You know the strategy. Like Eltel says, I think half the time he seems to make it more difficult than need be.
Yeah. By the way, did people notice that while Man City still have 115 charges arraigned against them, both Sheffield Wednesday and Leicester have been relegated, and they've suffered because they don't have a whole nation state that can say, well, if you want to charge us, we're going to spend an enormous amount of money bringing the FA through the courts. Isn't it funny?
Yeah.
Not very poignant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ange, what happened to you?
Sorry, go on, Glenn. I jumped in.
Sorry, Ange, there was a question that Lynn asked. She said that is there any particular reason why she feels that Arsenal gets robbed? And obviously everybody's got their view and opinion about it. Do you have any view on that?
Oh, it's a hard one, because when you're a supporter, anything that doesn't go your way, you're going to moan about it. I mean, actually, just going back to that game, and well, if you don't know, you do now. My favourite male player currently is Big Gabby. He can do no wrong in my eyes, and he was lucky he didn't get sent off. We know that. He really was lucky.
Sure.
A bit like Katie McCabe in that other game, but yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. It really is a tough one. There were things that went on. I mean, arguably, the referee probably was not too bad under the circumstances. But we probably got off quite lightly, actually, on the whole. I mean, if you want my honest opinion, by the second half, where I thought, oh gosh, here we go again, because I'm just fed up with Man City now. I'm fed up with Arteta being Pep's pup, and I'm really trying with this chap. I really, really am trying. But barring the Community Shield, when we actually played proper football and beat them, I haven't seen anything really decent personally. But it is what it is. I don't know. The ref's one thing, but yeah, it's down to tactics, I think, predominantly. Down to tactics.
Okay, so we're going to go tactics. A nice segue. Let's talk about the Gokeres in the room. Here we are. We wanted a striker. We've got a striker. He's been banging them in for Sweden. But somehow we seem to have not used him to his full capacity. Glenwyn, what's going on?
I've always said Gyökeres is a goal scorer, and you can see he's that fox in the box. And like you said earlier on, he makes the perfect runs, Terry, but he doesn't get the ball. So I think the only person, and I've said it before, Rice, Zubomendi, and Eze can't play in the middle. If you want to play Eze in the middle, you have to play Rice, Eze, and Christian Norgard, because that three for me, it's a perfect three in terms of Eze being the only player being free from the midfield, because Eze will pop up on the left, he will pop up on the right, he will pop up in the 9, in the false 9, and he's the only one that can release a ball that I've seen that can release a ball perfectly for Gyökeres, and in order for him to at least have a shot on goal. I mean, most of the balls that he's given Gyökeres was either shot on goal, off target, or on target, or he had a chance. It came from Eze. And I think the fact that I'm saying Zubomendi and Rice together with Eze, it sort of it forces him to come back. You have to give Eze that freedom up in the 10, in the 9s, in the lefts, in the rights. Because if you play Norgard has got that instinct of staying. He's like a dog and say, sit Peter, or sit Rex, or whatever it might be. He will sit and he will stay. And that is what Norgard brings to this team. So much more of a player that will do anything for his team to go forward, and he will just stay behind. And the range of passing that man has, if you looked at the game, I think it was Mansfield, where all the passes that Norgard gave was almost created a chance. So for me, I think Mikhail was a bit unfair not playing Norgard more in the Premier League and give the likes of Zubomendi a little bit of rest, because you could see even in the game against Bournemouth, he was very fatigued. He was tired. He was nowhere. And he cried after that game, because that last goal that they scored, the second goal they scored, he felt it was his mistake. Yeah, and it was his mistake. So, and I think that is mental and that is fatigue. And I blame the manager for that, because you've got a good squad, you've got a big squad, and you've got a Premier League proven. It does sound that it is a cliche, but it is the reality. He's a Premier League proven player, and he was a captain and a leader in the team of a good Brentford side. So why not give that man a Bals? Something, one of, you know what I mean? It's Bals in South Africa. It's a whiskey. It's a whiskey that we had sorry, it's a private joke. But yeah, give that man a Bals. So
give that man a beer.
Yeah, a beer. Norgard is for me. You was the card that was never played out of the hand of the manager, because that would have probably give you a sort of a trump card. Norgard, that player, it's very underrated, especially in this particular team he's playing in Arsenal, because you could see whenever he's on that midfield, yes, he makes mistakes because of the lack of game time. But if you had given him a full game, especially the game against, you know what, you can say it's Mansfield, but he maintained his position, and he knew what he wanted to give to the team. So,
So would you
for
play
me,
him? Yeah,
Eze
would you play him? Sorry, Glenn. So would you play him in on with the match is Sunday, isn't it, or Saturday?
Saturday, yeah. You know
Saturday.
what,
Would you play Norgard?
you got to give him that opportunity, because at this stage you're struggling with a mental block in Zubamendi. He still feels that although he had a better game against Sporting
For Lisbon.
midweek, yeah, and also against Man City, he had a better game, but still you can feel that mentality is it's tarnished. And with Norgard being hungry, being up for it, you know, you want to give him that opportunity to at least break a defensive line where you can go over the top, like we have been trying to do against Man City with the long balls, because you had a perfect player in there. So if you do that with Gyökeres, with all the runs, you will get a ball to him if you're Norgard. You know what I mean? So Gyökeres, there's a statement there. Why is Havertz and Gyökeres even a debate from the assemble? So we've bought this guy in for big money.
Yeah.
Why not play to his strength? And there's a quote that says that somebody said it. Yeah, Sweden is playing to his strength. Sweden has been playing to his strength. I mean, it's a manager in there, Potter, that has come out what 2-3 months in that position, and he's given the instruction to play to the striker's strength, a hat trick, and he's the winner of them going into the World Cup now. So why can't our managers see this? Why can't our staff say these things? This guy has to be strong. He has to. Yes, he's a team player, but you've got to give him what he thrives on.
Go on, LJ.
Yeah,
I just want to say something.
Well, I was just thinking, wouldn't it be awful if we don't play well between now and the end of the season, and then Sweden and Gyökeres go and he scores a hatful of goals in the World Cup, and then we'll all be going, well, what are we doing wrong? We aren't getting the ball to him where he wants the ball. It's not complicated, and I wish Arteta would not overcomplicate things. We're not getting the ball to him on the shoulders. There was one goal he scored for Sweden. He was on the shoulder of the defender. And of course, the Arsenal fans around me when I go to matches, they all call Gyökeres Bob the Builder. He's got a builder's build. And when he wants to get the ball, he just bumps into a guy, as he did when they scored for Sweden, knocked the guy flying. It was perfectly legal because it was shoulder to shoulder, and then he scored. Now, that's what the guy does well. So why aren't we getting the ball to him in that? He's not fleet-footed. He's quick, but he's not. He's a sort of guy. He's got so much brawn about him, and he's got a wicked shot on him. You know, so work it out. You know, don't keep chopping and changing. And as Ange said, you've got Havertz up front, who is not really a striker. He's not really confident enough in front of goal, like say Ian Wright or somebody, that you know if he gets a chance he's going to bury it. But Gyökeres is. The trouble is he's not getting any of those chances, you know.
Do you think he's not getting those chances because midfield is just stifled? They're playing.
I think so.
They're playing like, you know. I've seen the speed of past Arsenal players.
Yeah.
They when we wanted to score, we scored pretty much at will. Everybody knew where they had to be when that ball was coming in. I remember watching not a documentary, maybe just a bit of a blog or something with Thierry Henry, and he was talking about Arsene Wenger. And he was complaining to Arsene Wenger because he felt like he wasn't getting enough of the ball. And Arsene, you know, flipped the question on him. He said to him, "Well, are you presenting yourself for
For the
Bergkamp,
ball.
for Perez
Yeah.
to give you that ball. So it made Thierry Henry think more about where he had to be placed. It seems to be that there's some kind of disconnect at this moment in time. We got.
Yeah.
I said to one of my mates in work that I feel I can mark Saka because Saka is quite predictable. He goes out, then comes back in.
Yeah.
So I'll force him out and square him up for space. But then you got to have players that can think on their feet. I don't mean as a joke, as it were, in reference, but
Yeah.
sometimes the plan that the manager has and the way that the on field situation changes means that nothing's really stuck as a plan. So you have to adapt to the situation at hand. If I know that a defender's marking Saka, for example, and I tell Saka to swap, that defender may think, hang on, now I've got a hassle because I don't know how to mark him. Martinelli seems to have gone missing. He seems to be very infrequent. Odegaard is not the same Odegaard from 2 seasons ago. If we're going for the Premiership, you can't be carrying 4 liabilities.
Yeah. But also, when you think of some of those great goals that Martinelli scored, and even the famous Dalman one was against Everton, the ball broke for them and they ripped up the field and there was virtually no defence. There's a line that Herbert Chapman, our esteemed manager back in the late 20s, early 30s, and he said in one of his books, you can have the ball too much. And what he meant was counter-attack is the key thing in football. And at the moment, and I'm sure you'll all agree because we've all seen it, it sounds like the cardinal sin is to give the ball away. So it goes to the left, then it goes to the right, then it goes back to a defender or the goalkeeper, then it goes forward, then it goes across. And this just goes on and on and on. And you think to yourself, well, we've got some really creative guys up front. Why aren't we getting the ball up to them? Because by the time it gets to them, they've got 2 banks of 4 defenders. So that's 8 players, plus the goalkeeper, plus maybe one of the strikers that has dropped back into midfield. Hopeless. It's not going to work that way. And also the famous line in creativity is that you have to be willing to take chances. You have to be, you've got to be prepared to try something. And it might go wrong, but it might go right. And at the moment, teams have worked us out. It's not complicated. I'm sure they've got all kinds of computer programs on it. They know what Arsenal are going to do. And we desperately need some, number one, we need creativity. And we've got Eze there, perfect guy for that. And Odegaard, if he stops going round in circles like Hleb used to do years ago. But definitely don't do this, hold on to the ball, because all that happens is, and you could be playing against a pretty poor team like Wolves, for instance. When we played Wolves just parked the bus. And then I think it was a 2-2 draw, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe so,
Yeah, so if we'd have won that, we'd now be 2 points ahead.
Yeah.
And it's all because it's slow build up. If you're going to be creative and you're going to surprise the opposition, you've got to be prepared to play that early ball through. Just take a few more chances, Arsenal.
And Ange made a very good point. Sorry, Ange. She made a very good point earlier regarding the women football. I think Mikel Arteta can learn quite a bit from what the women are doing. They're very direct. Yes, they're playing possession football, but they're very direct. I mean, even if they take a chance or do the risky type of passing, yes, they might lose out on the ball, but they go again and they do it again. I mean, Ange can vouch for that. And sorry, Ange, you were posed a question by Raul.
No, you're spot on. We saw what happened with Arsenal women under Jonas. No hate to the guy, but he couldn't do anything more with them. Then Rene, who is a very novice new head coach, she took him over on an interim period. She was getting results, and I say quite rightly, Arsenal give her the job full time, initially on a short contract, which is fair enough. And yeah, what did she manage to pull off? Yeah, we knew we weren't. I think we were second, weren't we, last season?
Yeah.
Yeah, got up to second, but it didn't really matter because they pulled off the real underdogs Champions League.
Champions League.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can't get better than that. And this year, so far, and I call it the shiny frisbee, that whatever it's called, which was a damn good game actually against Corinthians, and boy, were they up for it. But once again, she pulled that one out of the bag, and we're the first to have done it. So she's got that accolade. And all right, yes, we have. We're not in the domestic cups now, but I'm going on Sunday to watch Arsenal's first leg in the semi-final.
Yeah. Yeah.
And let's hope they can do it, get to the final again. If they don't, so be it. But I don't know. And yeah, I mean, Glenn, you watch the ladies.
Yeah,
It's
I do.
different. I mean, all right, sometimes they do pass back, go sideways, whatever, which we all find frustrating. But, well, I don't know. It just seems to flow more freely. And it's more, not every game, because that's football, isn't it? Whether it's men, women, whoever. But they do tend to be more entertaining to watch.
Yes, they do. They do.
Yeah, I'm not. Do you know what? The first leg of the Champions League game was Sporting Lisbon. I actually quite, and I'm not that keen on. I know I sound weird when I say this because I really see it as a money thing for the men in Champions League. But I've done it or I've watched it on whatever stream, and the first leg I found quite enjoyable, but quite entertaining.
Yeah.
And I thought, yeah, we've done that. But the second leg, yeah, all right, we got the result. But that game, I just thought, I just wanted the ref to blow the final whistle. Yeah, get job done. And there's been some Champions League games which I can't tell you off the top of my head this season, which the men have actually played some really good football, and it's been enjoyable to watch. Dare I say it, as opposed to the Premier League, which actually quite a lot of them haven't been that enjoyable.
Look, I'll mention it earlier on because European football it's not like the Premier League where every team wanna just play a low block. They're very open because it's a one-off game, and I think in any one-off game, football can take over. If you make one mistake, I mean, you're probably out of that cup. Like we've done with Southampton, we've made mistakes. So I think with our football, we need to be more direct. And why I'm saying we can learn a lot from the ladies is when I watch the ladies, sometimes you feel they frustrate you. But the fact is, and I mean, it's like somebody said the other day, I can't remember who it was. They said when you try something and you fail at it doesn't mean that it's failure. The fact that you got up and tried it again, you know what I mean? And that's what the ladies are doing. So they give a forward pass, they lose the ball, but they win the ball back and they go again. And that is what we don't do as men in our men's team. Our men's team, we lose the ball and then we have to fight for the ball, but then we go like in a horseshoe. Somebody mentioned that there's no horseshoe, the shape that we're playing. We've been playing football for the last season, very, very ugly football. So, but yet we grind out the results. The game that we've played against City on Sunday, that's the game that we have to continue for the next 5 games. We have to play that sort of game. We have to take it to them. We have to bring the fire, as the manager said. Bring the fire. Bring your dinner. Bring your supper. Bring your breakfast. Whatever it is, he's making all these very nice statements in the media, but on the pitch there's something different than what he has said, and that frustrates me. And that makes a person very emotional.
Do you think that he's going to keep that level of persistent fighting spirit for the next 5 games. Because
Does he
I
have
think
a
he
choice?
might reverse back to type. I think he's going to. I mean, at home, as I said before, at home that's where you're meant to be the most comfortable. That's where you're meant to be able to express yourself. But I got a feeling that he's going to probably revert back to type. He's going to, put everything just on tender hooks. I haven't seen anything different other than when we play against Man City. I said I only saw the highlights. That if there was some kind of fight there, it was in the equalising goal. But then, you know, what else? What else can we do? What have you seen that will make Arsenal fight to win every match and not only just win every match. We're not talking about 1989 now, which I'll keep watching every time when we get to this time of the season. But the fact that you have to outscore, so the points difference wouldn't be such a potential heartbreaker.
I
Yeah,
don't think
yeah,
they have a choice, Ralph. They don't have a choice to go back to that controlled a sort of game. You can still control the game. You still be very solid defensively, but going forward, you have to continue with what you've done in the first and the second half. The second half, I think the latter part of the second half where we had all those chances, you've got to take those chances. I mean, it is Newcastle, and Newcastle has not been doing well the last couple of games. They have been very, very poor,
Sorry,
especially
Glenn.
away from home.
But we, you know what? We always come up against a team. Man United was one, Bournemouth was the other one, Southampton was another one. We always come across teams that, okay, they may not have been, brilliant. These teams now know how important it is for us. I think maybe one or two of the teams may be trying to go for European places, but they always bring their A game against us, and we do struggle. We don't make it easy. We give them far more respect than we should really, because we're title contenders. But
Yeah,
these, I don't mean to sound disrespectful, but these teams, the lower bottom teams, 10th down, they always seem to find just that extra edge. The
yeah.
players there have to turn up. They have
But
to turn up.
Wolves, since we struggled to beat them, have been beaten by nearly everybody they've played. And do you know what? It's very interesting that Rice has been made captain. When they asked Arteta how come, he said, "Well, the team wanted it." And I reckon the team have been pushing for that for quite some time. He looks like a captain. He was West Ham's
Yes.
captain. He's a great player. Stick him in the middle. I'm not even sure I want him as a 6. I'd rather him as a 6'8", box to box kind of guy, just breaking through. He's got a fantastic shot on him. I don't want him just lumbered at having to sweep up in front of our back four. And
Yeah.
I would be at the point when you got a manager who tries to play it all like a chess game. I'd almost say if I was the captain, look, can you leave us for the next few matches? We'll lock you in the toilet and just allow us to go out there. I mean, Arsene Wenger did that. He used to say to the players, "Right, lads, I've done the best I can. You sort it out." And he'd lock the players into the dressing room and they'd thrash it out. And they'd tell people things they didn't want to hear, like, "You were slow on that one. You didn't do that." But organise it amongst themselves and then let the players get that further. Because I've always felt when Arsenal come out, they've got 1,000 plans inside their head. I must underlap, do this, do that, triangles, quadrilaterals, box midfield, and they've all got that running through their head. It doesn't work like that. Just simplify it. That Nico O'Reilly, I mean, the guy that scored 2 goals against us, all he had to do was play left back, invert, and then they had such good wingers. Sooner or later, the ball was going to come to him, and nobody picked him up. That's not complicated. You just say to him, "Right, son, invert, and you'll be blindsided because nobody will see you coming." and
Mm.
and they scored.
what
Now
happens.
make it simple. The tactics may be complex, but get the players, give them a simple instruction. You're my left back. I want you to do this, this, and this. You know, and don't overcomplicate the game, because at the end of the day, it's the team that puts the ball in the opposition net that most often that kind of wins. You know, so
Yeah.
I think there's something you can see it. He's at the sideline. They ought to put it to music. He's dancing around. He's hopping from one foot to another, and it's like a comedy act. I mean, I've got my son's got 3 mates he was at school with, and they sit right behind Arteta, in not on the pitch, but you know they're in front row of the crowd, and I'm wondering how much of the match they see, because they've got this bloke in black and grey that's hopping up the play. You know?
Before we go to the predictions, there's 2 questions. The one question from John is, what happens to Mikel Arteta if we do not win a trophy this season?
On the postcard.
Podcast. And then the other question from the Assembled is, in the last 4 years, do you honestly believe Arsenal's tactics, structure, etc., is compliant with winning titles or safe enough to qualify for the Champions League? Those are the 2 questions. You can answer together if you like. So what happens to Arteta if he doesn't win anything? And the question
I think that the
Excuse me.
first question, I think that the board will still stick with him, because they'll still say that, you know, it's another good run, consistent second time, you know, second place finisher. Whatever happens in the Champions League, that's going to be another sticky one, because Atletico Madrid, I know we've beaten them in the earlier rounds, didn't we? But again, it's who turns up on the day, and also how mentally fatigued we're going to be after this match with Newcastle. It's the clincher. So I reckon the board will still keep him. I struggle with this one. I came across an old clip with Alex, and Alex came up saying how he's had enough of him. You know, I want him out. And I can understand that, and I would have said the same thing. But I mean, Klopp, is it right? I think Klopp or Pep. Pep was stayed with Man City for about 4 or 5 seasons before he became the successful manager that he is. So, do you think that you could stick with another season of this kind of football? I don't think my demeanor can take it, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, if you're the owner who really has no interest in Arsenal other than as an investment that is getting more and more valuable all the time, as far as Kroenke is concerned, he wouldn't say this to your face, but second place back in the Champions League, record attendances, record TV receipts. He's happy. He's very happy with Arteta.
Increase of ticket sales, yeah.
You know, so I think so to answer the question, I think Kroenke is fine. He'll keep Arteta, and in some ways, there's a big danger if we hop from Arteta to somebody else, we won't even get second. We'll dribble back down again. So, what the big question to ask Arteta is, and maybe they asked him last season, season before that, what could you do to turn a second into a first? And unfortunately, when you're up against a team with 115 charges, and they went out and bought the best centre back, Mark Gay, and the best winger in Semenyo, there's your answer. They went out in January, spent big money. How comes they're not being pulled up in front of a court? You can bet Arsenal would be, but there you go. That might be when the dust settles and we look back on this in so many years' time, we might say, well, there was nobody who challenged City as well as Arsenal did. And, you know, having 115 charges arraigned against you, and it still hasn't been published and they still haven't come to a decision. I want it to be sorted. I don't want us to win the league by default. I don't want them to say next September, oh, sorry, Arsenal, you came second, but really you should be first because of, just
That'd be
sort it out.
horrible.
Yeah. So, but as I say, I think the FA are scared. They're scared of being dragged through the courts by a nation state, an oil-rich nation state.
And your answers to the question?
Well, I totally agree. Yeah, that's the biggest factor. Yeah, we keep getting. Oh God! Please let us just win the damn thing, and then we'll worry about Arteta later. But that's all I can say, really. Because there is another argument. Who, if we don't have Arteta, who are we going to get? I know that. Well, mind you, they link big names. My goodness, they still. I mean, Tottenham don't count. They might not be relegated. We don't know about them.
No, I don't think they will be.
I think they'll scrape it through.
No,
but
I think they'll go down. Huh?
It would be quite the same if we don't have that North London derby where we can thrash them, especially at their own ground, because I pass that ground on 259 and their gleaming solar stadium that blinds you in the sun.
Who are you? Who are you?
And we were coming back from the match with my other half, and he did not believe me when, and God knows how big this lettering is, that they were the the Europa winners. He thought I was winding him up. I said, look, it'll be even more funny if they're in the championship, but there you go. But no, sorry, I digress totally. I don't know. Who could we have as a decent, but do you know what? I'm not opposed to foreign managers, but
you couldn't switch on a light there, could you? We can. You're not talking from.
Hang on a second.
You're not talking from inside a wardrobe or something, are you? Is she in a wardrobe, lad? Oh, that's better.
That's better.
Yeah, sorry, gone very dark. I'm not used to big lights. Don't like big lights.
That's better.
What I was going to say. It would be quite nice to have an English manager or a British manager, but could even have an Irish one. But who's available? Who's good?
Yeah.
What about a female manager? What about the woman who's doing well?
Don't be getting controversial. Oh my goodness! Don't start that debate.
I
bet the players have been working hard for her.
I was going to be terribly sexist and said depends what she looks like, but anyway, I'm not meant to say that, am I?
Stanley's put a message there. He's got to go. You know what?
Thanks.
Let's have one more question. What's the result going to be for us on Saturday? Quick round.
Let's start with the first lady.
Yes, Ange.
Sorry, for this tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah. And the lady.
Gosh, I hate giving. I feel like I'm the kiss of death when I say this. Newcastle, as you quite rightly said, they are really going to turn up for this. They really, of course, they are. But I want more than a good old 1-0 to the Arsenal. I really do, because we need the goal difference because of the dirty old money lot. Yeah. So I'm not actually going to give that prediction other than we must win. With preferably a couple of goals at least.
You're winning, yeah.
Tell.
Well, Arteta said today, he said, all we're going to try and do is win the match. And then what I'd say is, if we score the first goal, let's score the second goal and the third and the fourth. But the hardest goal to score is going to be the first one. Yeah. Get that first goal in, get our centre backs back on form. Goodness, if we've got Yuri and Timber out there, that will help. And let's keep a clean sheet, score at least one goal, and if we can score early and Newcastle come out, then you never know. We could have that big score. So I'm going to predict. I would never predict against Arsenal. I'm going to predict 1-0, but I'm hoping for a 5-0.
Sorry, can I just say who's going to be in goal for Newcastle tomorrow?
I don't know actually.
I don't know.
It will be Ramsdale.
Rambo?
Ramsdale.
Ramsdale.
Yeah, it will be Ramsdale.
And I loved him.
Yeah,
And this is
yeah.
no disrespect because I don't think he was treated very fairly, but
No.
not for
He's
now.
been doing well for them.
But his form is a bit hit and miss, so it would help us out.
Yeah, no, look.
Well, if it help us if he let a few goals in.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. sorry, love you, Rambo, but yeah, it would help.
Thanks, Rambo. Just 3 or 4, mate.
Glenwyn, what's your prediction?
I've already put my predictions out on the group, so I'm the same as Lynn. It's 2-0 to the Arsenal, and I think it has to be that because, like I said earlier on, we need 6 points by the time City plays again, and we need at least 4 goals ahead of them by the time they play Everton. So 6 points and four goals ahead. I think that should be the goal. So 2-0 for the Arsenal tomorrow against Newcastle.
Okay. Well,
and yours.
I was gonna close out on this. I don't want to be a stickler. I've got a feeling it's the psychological effects. If we don't put or don't score early, I think it's going to be a draw. I think it's going to be a draw. I want to be wrong. I really do want to be wrong, but if we don't score early, if we don't settle down early, if we don't take our chances, I think it's going to be a draw, and it's going to be a bit of a slog to try and stay on top. So that's my prediction. I'm sorry if I've let you guys down on that, but that's just
no worries. That's just you.
That's being honest.
How I feel at this moment in time. I want to be wrong. Okay, we've gone past the hour.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I want to say thank you to my guests, Ange, the first lady. I think there was a message that came in on the chat that Ange wasn't the first lady; it was somebody else. But
there was
Ange
a
the first
lovely lady before me. I think she was Dutch.
Lynn. I think Lynn came
up. Yeah, sorry, I'm the second lady, but the first lady sounds better. Thank you.
Yeah, we keep you as the first lady.
I'll be cheeky.
Eltel, as always. Eltel, fantastic knowledge, insight, so knowledgeable.
Well, listen, guys, it's great to be back, and it's great that we can honour our dear brother, our dear bro there, Alex. None of us would be chatting today if it wasn't for our dear brother, Alex.
That is so true.
Yeah.
I think that at least 2 of you guys, or say 3 of you guys, should have been on the new advert for this Air Wallets kind of thing.
Oh gosh,
an advert, as it were. But I think you guys should be on that new advert with Thierry Henry and Spike Lee, who's a favourite director of mine. So I'm just putting it out there. Spike, if you're watching California TV, next advert, put us all in. We appreciate it.
We're available.
Glenwyn, thank you ever so much for helping me with the graphics and everything else as well. Really appreciate it. And we'll see if we can keep this easy talk as a continuing factor for good communication, great conversation, fantastic banter, or a wonderful Arsenal team. Guys, on YouTube, catch it on YouTube. If you're on Twitter, if you're on Instagram, wherever you are, we're in that place. It's the Easy Talk. We're back. We're going to make sure we stay back until at least the end of the season, where Arsenal, I don't want to say it, everyone else can say it, but we'll see where we're going to be at the end of this season. Guys, thanks very much. And once again, condolences to Alex Manager and his family. From us Arsenal fans to their families. Take care, stay safe, be kind, enjoy life is what Alex would say. See you guys soon. Bye for now. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.